Hi there, students. Today I'm going to show you how to complete the Can You Beat Natural Selection lab. It's very important that you read this background information and understand how to do the lab. I'm going to show you these directions on how to do it here. It's really important to note, and a lot of people get confused, that survival of the fittest doesn't always mean survival of the biggest and strongest organism. Sometimes you could have a really small, scared organism that ends up hiding really well and doesn't require very much food, and it maybe survives the best in a situation. It just depends. When you flip over and go to the second page of this lab, I want you to change the word prediction to hypothesis, okay? And when you write your hypothesis, it should be a conditional statement. An easy way to write a conditional statement is to start the sentence with the word if, and then about halfway down you use the word then. So you're saying if such and such happens, then this will happen. So I wrote, if the prey, you can see I set up this background, I wrote, if the prey matches its background, then more of them will survive. That was my prediction. So I was saying, if they match, like the white on the white matches its background, then more of them will survive. You could write it opposite of that. You could say, if the prey does not match its background, then it will get eaten. I want you to come up with an original hypothesis that you write there. Okay, so then when you start this chart, I want you to write down the total population. So I'm starting with the plain background. I put 25 plain circles, and I put 25 newsprint circles. You can see I didn't have actual newspaper in my house, so I used flyers that came in my mailbox, and I cut that up. So I used what I had. You can do the same thing. You can do a couple different colors of paper. There's a lot of different ways you could do that. Okay, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna time yourself for 15 seconds. And when you time yourself, on your timer, or I'm sorry, you're going to time yourself for 10 seconds. I apologize, for 10 seconds. I want you to pick up the circles like this. I want you to pick up one circle, put it over here. One circle, it's so hard. Put it over here. Now you can have two hands doing it, but I don't want you to just scrape all the circles off and throw them there. I want you to pick them up individually, okay? All right, so we're gonna time 10 seconds and see how many circles I can get off of just the plain background the first time. All right, let's see. Oh, and we're past. Okay, so I went past the amount of time, but that's okay. We can just go to about 14 seconds each time in my trials. That's okay, as long as it's the same every time. So I'm gonna count how many I got of the plain. I got 1, 2, 3. So number of plain circles consumed, it was 3 for me. And then number of newsprint, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. And then I'm going to do this same trial 3 times. I'm going to take the average, so I'm going to add up this number, this number, this number, and divide it by 3, because I did it 3 times to get an average. And I'm going to find out the percent that died. So if it was an average of, say, 3 circles in the end, then 3, my math is going to be on that, 3 divided by 25. So I'm going to do 3 divided by 25. So my percent would be 12%. So here, that if my average, if I got about 3 every time, and my average was 3, my percent would be 12%. And my percentage of circles that survived then, of the plain ones, would be 88%. Okay. Then I'm going to do that for the newsprint circles. Okay. And I'm going to repeat that whole thing, but on newsprint here. I'm going to do that whole thing again. Then with this information, I'm going to make a graph of the information. There's a sample graph on Canvas that you guys can look at. And then you're going to answer these questions on the last page, including the inquiry extensions. And you're going to answer this. And that's how you complete the Can You Beat Natural Selection Lab. Good luck.